Going on, guys? Welcome, Rabid here, and we have a package in from NERDGEARZ. So this is actually a metered PDU. It's their new version 3 version. We're gonna have a look at it, and it's actually pretty awesome. All right, so inside the box you actually have another box right here, and you can see a little picture of it. So now we're gonna open up the secondary box and see what this PDU looks like. All right, so here is that PDU. We got a C19 plug there. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 C13 plugs and another C19. We also have a display for the wattage that this is using, as this is metered. And another major thing is this is actually surge protected, which is actually pretty good, as well as a breaker in there. A surge protected metered PDU for a decent price here. So I will have a link to this down in the description, and code RABIDMINING will grant you a discount as well. But this is a pretty nice PDU here. I'm actually going to hook it up because the current one I have hooked up to the L9 as well as my GPUs here does not have surge protection, as we can see right here. So I do want to hook that up ASAP here. That way if there's any thunderstorm or something, my rigs will be safe. So I do have everything unplugged so I can swap over to this PDU. It does have your standard L6 type of plug right here with the locking mechanism. So I'm going to plug this in. So one thing that's pretty sweet here, you can see it's kind of a red button there and a latch here for the C19 plugs for your ASICs, and depending on your big Octa miners and stuff, this actually has a locking mechanism when you install this. So I'm going to kind of put this in. I don't know if I can with one hand. Can't really. Okay, I can't do it. Give me a second. All right, so I do got it in, and I tried pulling it out. You cannot pull this out unless you break it with a lot of force, but you cannot pull it out unless you push this red button to the side, and then it'll come out. So that's really great here for plugs that slowly back out over time, or maybe you have a slight bit of tension, which you shouldn't, but just in case you do, it's a nice safety mechanism on top of being a freaking metered PDU with surge protection. This is pretty crazy. All right, so I got my two C19 plugs plugged in right there and there. Now, one thing I wish this PDU did have, obviously, would be a couple more C19 plugs. It only has 2, but that's okay. Most power supplies and GPU rig and stuff are good with C13s, but ASICs and stuff, you are going to want more C19s depending on how much power you do draw. Myself also, for some of my CPU rigs over here, I do use a C19 plug, which splits into a 4-way splitter for 4 different power supplies. So that's another way to go about it, but you can get away with a thicker C13 plug. But again, it all depends how you want to run things. This does currently only have 2 C19 and the rest are all C13, which we can see in the middle there. There is 6 C13 plugs. So now we're going to have to power this thing on. So here you can see, is there a fuse? So we're going to turn the fuse on. It's off by default. Shut the latch, and bam, we can also see there's our meter. We got a meter right here. And we also means we don't need to build those anymore. So depending where you buy them, and the boxes and the meters, this is going to cost you over an extra $100 or so. And this is built right into the PDU now. So that's another feature to help you save money on top of being a very inexpensive PDU here for the amount of things you are given with it. All right, so it's all hooked up. Good to go. Everything is looking good, and here is our little meter here. So it does look like 4,710 watts or so. If we take this to the actual watt meter here, it's actually showing a little less power than what this meter is showing. So I wonder which one is accurate. I'm going to go with this one because it's showing I'm using less power, so that's always a good thing. But again, I'm not 100% sure, but it is nice to have an idea on your PDU how much power you use instead of just looking at amps and having to multiply it by your actual voltage and things like that. The other major thing here is obviously surge protector, keeping your rigs nice and safe, a built-in breaker as well. So this is a pretty awesome PDU with pretty much all the features you can have, minus I do wish it had more plugs, but it makes sense because again, this thing is coming in cheaper than a lot of the other PDUs out there that don't even have metered and stuff like that in it. So that's actually a pretty sweet deal. Now down in the corner here, I do have a bunch of other PDUs. As we can see, I got this one right here, but it has no surge protector. And after shipping and everything, it actually costs a little bit more. I do have my triplet ones. down here that I do use. So I got lots of backups in here. Obviously, you do like to have backups in case something blows up. But that PDU is cheaper than both of these things when I got them. And this one does have metered here, but no surge protector. And this one doesn't have any surge protecting either on this triplet one. And it's not metered at all. So, you know, this thing is actually a pretty good deal for what you're getting out of a PDU. Now, if you're unfamiliar with a PDU, that stands for Power Distribution Unit. And it pretty much means giant arse power bar for 240 volt. You can also get them for actually up to 50 amps, which is actually better here for if you're running multiple ASICs and stuff. But for all of us as CPU miners, GPU miners, maybe you got one ASIC there or something, all you need is a 30 amp here because that's also more common and easier to install and a lot less expensive. Anyway, guys, if you are looking for a new PDU or you're looking for a backup or anything, check out the new NERDGEARZ version 3 PDUs. Link in the description. Code RABID will grant you a discount. I'll see you on the next one. Rabid out.